Hi, hello, Victoria and Octopus. Okay, can you hear me clearly? Just let me know if you can hear me clearly. Octopus, I think you're the second one to comment. Victoria, okay, thank you very much. You can hear me clearly. Okay, I just need to make sure now I can see myself clearly. Okay, hello, Jacinta. Okay, let me cross this first. Okay, where did my live go to? Oh, okay, it's here. How is the holiday so far? Like it's been a week plus. I guess if you're joining the live, I suppose you're still in Singapore and not overseas. A lot of people are going overseas during the holiday. Are you all going overseas? Going anywhere? Oh nope, not going anywhere. Nope. Why, Victoria? Is it because like you're also having the PSLE? So got to stay in Singapore and Mei Yun, hi. I am very skibidi. Today got Kahoot. Today there's no Kahoot, Jacinta. So hi, Sigma Capybara. Octopus also at PSLE. Oh, parents no time. Oh, okay. Busy working, very hardworking parents. So I guess you still can have fun, go out with your, I don't know who can bring you out, your grandparents. Okay, who would enroll in Teacher Jody Grader, which gives you 500 bonus bucks per month. 500 bonus bucks per month? May, are you sure? What is enroll anyway? You're gonna go swimming. Okay, that's good. Okay, we just hang on for a few more minutes, right? Maybe we can let more people join in. Okay. So today we're gonna go through the topic of system, right? We're gonna do some revision on plant transport system and also circulatory system and respiratory system, right? These are the few topics that we have done, I think, in the last few live, right? Okay, and also yeah, just before we start, right, if you are interested in our weekly online classes, right, so you can always join us for the trial lesson. It is available in English, Math, Science, and Creative Writing, right? So and Set 1, Set 2 Mathematics also, and the teachers that will be teaching will be us, right, the few of us who always are around during the live session. Hi Avis. Hi CW, hi Paige. You're also hardworking. Like I see you every live. Like I even see you in other teachers' live. Hi CW Hall. Anyone of you attended the June boot camp? Our June boot camp? No. Okay, today I just concluded the lesson at Tampines. Yeah, I went to the Tampines branch to teach the June bootcamp for the P6. I think it was quite fun. Yep. And then tomorrow I'll be going to the Sengkang CC branch to teach. I joined most of the TikTok live, but not secondary math. Oh yeah, because probably if Octopus you're in primary school math, then you probably don't want to join secondary school math because you wouldn't understand also. You went English bootcamp today. It just ended. Okay, so hopefully the English bootcamp was fun. Which branch did you go to, Avis? Capybara never joined. Why? Oh, secondary. Yeah, of course. If you're in like primary school, then no reason for you to join the secondary school math also. Fernvale CC, you went to the Fernvale CC, Avis. Okay, I see. I go into secondary math and I won Kahoot second place. So I guess that means the Kahoot is too easy. Okay, I'll tell the teacher to make the Kahoot more difficult next time. Okay, anyway, let me just slowly get started, right? Let me go through one question, then after that I will talk a bit, right? Then go through one question and talk a bit. Because there's only 8 person joined. Oh yeah, because usually the secondary school math will have lesser people, right? That's a good idea, Octopus, right? So join and then maybe get your parents or your siblings, elder siblings to help you. Okay, come. So let me slowly start with the first question. Right, today we're going to go through some revision on the system, right? Respiratory system, circulatory system, and also plant transport system. All right. Let me just go through this question first. Okay, question number 1. Diagram below shows how blood flows in certain parts of the body, right? After or certain parts of the body a few hours after a meal, right? So after a meal, right, so we can see that there is the lungs, heart, and small intestine, right? So this will involve your respiratory system. Okay, oh no, I think I'm gonna cross this out first. Okay. Okay, so you will involve your respiratory system, and heart will involve your circulatory system, right? And then small intestine is from your digestive system. Right, so the question is asking which of the following statement is or are true of the blood that is flowing in the blood vessels that is located in X and Y. Okay, so X is over here and Y is over here, right? So if you look at X and Y, okay, by now you should be able to tell like which blood vessel, okay, will be like rich in oxygen, okay, rich in carbon dioxide, and so on. But in this case, there is a new part, right, which is the small intestine. Okay, so you probably need to tell which part is rich in digested food. All right, so if you read through A, B, C, and D, okay, blood in X contains more digested food than blood in Y. Okay, so the question is talking about digested food and also oxygen and carbon dioxide, right? So let me just run through everything, okay, as a recap. So usually I will always start off by looking at the lungs, right? So the lungs will give you a strong indication which part is rich in oxygen because you breathe in the oxygen. Okay, and then the oxygen will flow through this part here, right? So this part here will be rich in oxygen. And then it's going to flow through the heart, right? And then it's going to go to here, okay? And then it's going to go to the small intestine, right? So X will be rich in oxygen, okay? And then after that, all the small intestine, I guess, will, or all the other parts of the body will use up the oxygen, and then this part here will probably be rich in carbon dioxide, okay? So should I write rich in carbon dioxide? Okay, I'm gonna write rich in carbon dioxide. Which color should I choose? Okay, blue. Okay, I'm gonna write the short form CO2, right? And then after that, it's gonna flow through here, and it's gonna go back to the lungs, right? So the lungs is where you will, okay, purge out all the CO2. Right, so we have one more thing to look out for, which is the digested food, right? So absorb, the small intestine will absorb all the digested food. So digested, okay, food will go into here. So probably Y will be rich in the digested, okay, food as well. All right. Okay, so once you figure out all this info, then we're gonna go through everything. Okay, A says that the blood in X contains more digested food than the blood in Y. Okay, so now we know A is wrong because it should be, okay, Y is more, right? Y will have more digested food, okay? And for B, the blood in Y contains more digested food than X. Okay, so basically A and B are kind of like the opposite of each other, right? So if it says Y contains more than the blood in X, right, then this is correct. B is correct. Okay, let me go on to C. C says that the blood in X contains more dissolved oxygen than the blood in Y. Okay, this is correct because X is rich in oxygen, but Y is rich in carbon dioxide. Okay, so X contains more dissolved oxygen than Y. And then for D, X contains more dissolved carbon dioxide than X, right? So we know that, okay, D is wrong. So hopefully you all picked B and C. You're like looking at the question or you are chit-chatting away. Let me look through the chats. I don't know the pronounce. Okay, anyone knows what is the answer? I mean, by now the answer should be crystal clear. Yes, CW Hall, thank you. Is number 2. Okay, so the answer is number 2. Hopefully by now, regardless of whether you're in P5 or P6, right? Especially if you're in P6, right? You should be clear about your respiratory system, circulatory system, and when they are combined, okay, how does it do? Multitasking sometimes is not a good thing to do, right? Multitasking is also an excuse for not focusing, all right? So May Yuan, why you keep spamming about who would join teacher AGrader, which gives 500 bonus bucks per month? I don't know what is that for. Okay, any question about circulatory system, respiratory system? I guess no. Wait, who says wait, somebody already footballer already gave the answer for question 2. Okay. Cloudly, I haven't learned it yet. Subscribe to your YouTube channel. Okay, I guess there's no question, right, regarding this question. So shouldn't be too difficult. We move on. All right. Teacher, my first time, I am curious. Okay, hi, curious. Hopefully you'll be able to learn something out of this live. I'm confused between arteries and veins. Okay, arteries, veins, and capillaries are no longer tested in P6 science, right? But last time we used to be tested on that. So nowadays, very good, right? Less and less things are getting tested for P6 science. I don't know why. I thought should be more and more things. Okay. All right. So remember, arteries, capillaries, and veins are not. Okay, they are no longer tested. All right. Okay, so notification, right? Same old trick. Don't try again. It's okay. Notification is just trying to have some fun, right? Okay, I think this happened in one of the teachers' live, yeah. But okay, you know that, or maybe y'all don't know, but we do share about our experience from the TikTok live. All right, so don't try to be funny, okay? We know each and every one of y'all because we are gossiping, right, behind y'all and say who is this, who is that. No, we are not gossiping. What's the previous answer? Miones, the previous question, the answer is number 2. All right. Okay, I am going to go through the other question. Okay, question 2. Study the diagram below carefully. Okay, so we have the first diagram, which is the human respiratory system, and then we also have the fish, right, which is the fish respiratory system. Okay, hopefully you know what is part A and part B, right? And X. Okay. Let me write down first. X points to the lungs. A is just the mouth. Okay, and then B is the gills. Okay, and then next is talking about plants, right? The next one is talking about plants. C, opening on the other side. Okay, I think C is talking about the stomata. D, okay, D is like underground root which stores food. Okay, underground root. Okay, which contains stored food. All right, like the carrot. Okay. Number three, they say, well, no prizes for guessing the correct answer, unfortunately. Okay, which of the following shares the same function as part X? Right, so part X is this one, right, which is the lungs. Okay, lungs, what does it do? Right, it is the place where the exchange of gases takes place, right? Exchange of gases. Okay, so which are the parts does that? All right, so since you all say it's number three, right, then I'll take a look at number three. Is it B and C? B is the gills, correct. Okay, very clever. C is the stomata. Is the stomata is where the exchange of gases takes place for the plant, right? Wow, okay, you're very clever, right? Make my job very easy. So next time I don't need to go through the question. I just copy your answer can already. Okay, yes, the answer is indeed number 3, B and C. Right, hopefully by now you are very familiar with what are the different parts that allows the exchange of gases to take place. Answer is number 3. Okay, any question before we move on? This is a rose. I guess that is a rose. This is a P5 paper. We are doing revision on system. We're doing some revision on system. But of course, if you're P6, you can also go through some revision on your system also, right? Okay, I guess no question. And I guess since you are here, nobody's going on a holiday, right? Anybody going on a like very interesting trip to other country? Cloudly, you haven't learned it yet. Well, Cloud, you have already learned the basic stuff about your respiratory system. I would believe you should be at least, I don't know if you're P5, right? In P3, in P4, you would have learned about your body system already. Capybara going Malaysia, but so many people go Malaysia. Malaysia is not interesting anymore. Anybody going to any place that's like very interesting? Like going to, I think nowadays a lot of people are going to China, going to Hong Kong. Okay, I've only been there once, maybe 10 years ago, Hong Kong. Vietnam is also, a lot of people going Vietnam. China, more and more people are going. Malaysia is boring. You're staying in Singapore. Going to Genting, oh my goodness, Genting. Like the last time I went to Genting is like maybe 20 years ago. I wasn't going to Korea. Okay, a lot of people are also going to Korea, Japan. I went Hong Kong and Japan last year. Oh, okay. I went Korea. I've never been to Japan. I've never been to Korea. Okay, so like nowadays, the kids are all very lucky, right? Can go Japan, go Korea. Last time when I was young, the furthest place my parents bring me to is Sentosa. Even for Sentosa, like we go there maybe once or twice only. I'm going to Hong Kong during PSLE marking. Yep, during PSLE marking, I believe you deserve it, right? Because you already survived PSLE. I went to the Land of Freedom in March. What is the Land of Freedom? Okay, anyway, let me go through this MCQ first, right? It doesn't look very difficult, so shouldn't take me a lot of time to go through. America, you're going to America, Capybara. Oh, okay. America is can be quite dangerous, I think. So better be careful, right? Europe and America, right? Gotta be take care of yourself because safety can be an issue, right? It's not as safe as Singapore, right? In Singapore, it's definitely very safe. If you go to America, Europe, all these countries, okay, better be very aware of your surrounding, all right? Okay, question 3, the diagram below shows the respiratory system. Okay, by now you should be very familiar with the respiratory system, right? So this picture clearly shows your lungs. Okay, air sacs is the tiny bubble-like structure for the exchange of gases to take place, right? Thin sheet of muscle. Okay, so hopefully you still remember this thin sheet of muscle is your diaphragm, right? Okay, I'm not so sure if I will spell it correctly, but okay, but it's okay. If I spell it wrongly, my English teacher page will correct me. All right, so the question is asking which of the following correctly describes the changes in our respiratory system when we breathe in. Okay, in order to inhale, right, your thin sheet of muscle, does it move upwards or move downwards, right? In order to inhale, breathe in. Breathe in is over here, inhale, right? Okay, your thin sheet, your diaphragm will need to move down so that there's going to be more space for your lungs, okay? So it's definitely move downwards, move downwards. All right, then after that, in order for your lungs to expand, right, it needs to move downwards. So your lungs will need to expand if you want to inhale, okay, so that there's more space, right? Inhale, okay, expand will allow more space, okay, for air to enter. All right. So by now, I think you should also know, right? Yes, Octopus, thank you very much. The answer is definitely number 4. I don't get why there is a G. Wait, I also don't get. Cloudly, are you named Claire? Okay, regular just woke up. I'm just scrolling through the messages. Okay, no question asking me about the science question. Okay, so this question is not too difficult, right? Okay, respiratory system, hopefully you understand the function of the diaphragm and how breathing works. Hi, can you say hi to me? Kind of random, hee. Hi, Billy. Welcome to my live. This is a P5 live. I welcome you. Thank you very much for watching my live, Millie. That is so random, yes. But well, if you request, I will. I guess no harm welcoming you or saying hello to you. Maybe I can ask you some questions also. Millie, are you in which level are you in? Right? Are you in P5, P6, or are you in secondary school, or are you like a old uncle at Kopitiam, right? Nothing to do, then watch my TikTok live. P6, Millie. Okay. Okay, good. Right. I think this will be like a very good revision for you, right? Hi, Elamilin. Right, nowadays the names are getting more and more fancy. Joe, wait, what? Wait, Paige, wait, what? Go back to here. You haven't copied yet. Oh my goodness, I've been here for so long already, Paige. But it's okay. Okay, go back where? But I'm already at home. I cannot go back to anywhere else. Capybara, your name is Rizzler. Are you sure? I feel like you're like scamming me. I need patience, yes. I need to like have a lot of patience. Wait, Paige, are you done? I believe you should be done. Okay. 100% no scam. I still don't believe you. You have like you give me the scammer vibes. Okay, we continue with the OAQ section. Let me just go through one question and then after that slowly chit chat with y'all. Okay, today I think this worksheet there's only 6 questions, so not a lot of questions. Okay, let's go through question 4. Jenny grew some celery plants in her garden. She saw some tiny insects feeding on the stem of the celery plant. Okay, usually this kind of tiny insect, right? They refer to the aphids. Okay. Okay, these insects will use their mouth to poke a hole. Right, they use their mouth to poke a hole into the stem of the plant. So it's a bit like mosquito, right? Mosquito also got the I don't know what's that thing called, right? Like a tube. Okay, they poke into our skin and then reach our blood vessel and then suck our blood, right? But aphids also do the same thing, but just that they don't feed on blood. They feed on the food carrying tube and the water carrying tube, right? But typically they feed on the food carrying tube because why would they want to feed on water when water is available everywhere, right? Okay, so usually they will feed on the stem, right? They will use their mouth to poke a hole into the stem, right? Because they probably want to feed on the food, Okay, food carrying tube, right? So celery, and then you can see the insect. I don't know if you can see the insect, but I definitely can't. Okay, then question part A wants you to explain why these tiny insects are poked into the stem. Okay, so basically you just need to understand what the insect is after, right? Probably they are after the food. Okay, so they are the stem because it contains the food carrying tube and the water carrying tube, right? So the insect can obtain food and water for survival. All right. Okay, so we can include food and water. Pages where are the insects are very tiny, right? I try to zoom in for you, but they don't look like aphid. They look like some caterpillar or something. Okay, so where? Okay, let me highlight. Let me circle it for you. Here is one. I think this is also the insect. Okay, worm-like insect, just for you. The picture is not very clear. Oh my god, a leech? Yeah, maybe it's a leech. Okay, so I'm gonna explain by saying that because the stem, right, contains food and water carrying tubes, right? They are after food, just like mosquito. Okay, when they suck our blood, is also they need the food, right? Okay, food and water carrying tubes. Okay, remember you don't need to spell the phloem and the xylem anymore. Right, where so in this case the insects they can obtain food and water for survival, right? Food and water. Okay, so hopefully you remember all living things, right, need air, food, and water to survive. This is something very basic that you learn in P3, I believe. Okay, yes, yes. Wait, why are y'all calling me? Food carrying tubes and water carrying tubes. Food and okay lah, don't write too much, right? So I'm sure you understand. It's also I'm referring to the food carrying tube and water carrying tubes. You don't understand my handwriting. Okay, Elamilin. I'll try to write neater. Pardon my handwriting, but I'm sure you can make up most of it, right? My teacher complains when I write that, wow, your teacher is very strict, but I like very strict teachers. Okay, so I will try my best to write neater. I think if I write slower, then I will be able to write neater. But because I'm writing on the iPad also, so it's a bit difficult to write. Right? It's quite smooth. Okay, so remember the stem contains the food and water carrying tube. Right? Can zoom in a bit. Zoom in where? Like. Okay, the stem contains the food and water carrying tubes, right? So the insect can obtain food and water, right, for survival. Okay, Abyss, I already zoomed in a bit. I don't know which part you want to look at. Jillian, I teach at AGrader Learning Center, right? So if you are interested to know, I teach at the Sengkang CC branch. Okay, zoom out. Can. Oh, wait, Adrian asked me to zoom out. Okay. Coincidentally, I also have a P4 student named Jillian over there. Isn't Fernvale in Sengkang? No, I think Fernvale is a different branch than the Sengkang CC branch. Boon Ko. Yen Boon Ko. Okay, yep. So I teach at the Sengkang CC branch, not the Fernvale one. Cloudly, I'm going Vietnam next month with my with your friends. I also have never been to Vietnam. Actually, there's a lot of countries that I've never been to. Milin, you go to the Tiong Bahru branch. Okay, Tiong Bahru branch is actually a very good branch, right? Last time used to be at the not at the shopping mall, right? So after that, they moved to the shopping mall. It's a lot bigger, right? The classroom is a lot nicer. Wait, Paige, you're saying in WA2 I wrote food and water together. They marked me wrong. Okay, sure. Then you write food carrying tube and water carrying tube, no problem. Alright. I mean, for me, I wouldn't mark you wrong, but probably your teacher wants to hold you to a very high standard. Okay, so you can write food carrying tube and water carrying tube, no problem. But then also, Paige, I also need to see maybe the context of your question. Also, because I'm sure your question will be a different question from mine, so I can't really determine, like did your teacher mark you wrong just because you wrote food and water carrying tube, right? So probably there's a bit more behind it. We need to really look at the question before we can tell. Okay, let me move on to the next part. All right. So, oh yeah, this thing actually you can conduct the experiment yourself, right? Because we did the experiment in AGrader, right? And then it's pretty interesting. Okay, you can just go and buy some celery and food coloring, and then put it in the bottle, right? Bottle, not bottle. Sorry, put it in a cup, and then soak it in, and then you can see that the celery will turn color. Water and food carrying tubes is wrong. Okay. Let's move on to the next part first. She sprayed a lot of insecticide, right, sprayed a lot of pesticide and causing the pesticide to enter the soil. Okay, so in P6, you all should know like what problem this will cause, right? Because if the pesticide enter the soil, then subsequently is absorbed by the plant. Okay, if it's not absorbed by the plant, excessive pesticide will cause all the pesticide to flow into the river, right? And then it will not be very good. Okay, so but in this case, it is absorbed by the plant, right? So the diagram above shows the cross section of the celery stem. The shaded parts of the tubes are where she could find the pesticide. Okay, let me do a bit of highlighting, a bit too many info. Okay, so she first sprayed a lot of, and then the diagram below shows the cross section of the celery stem. The shaded parts of the tubes is where she can find the pesticide, right? So is part B a food carrying tube or water carrying tube, right? So they're asking you, is it food or water carrying tube, and then explain why. So part B is over here. Part B is in the inner tube, right? It's in the inner part, and then a part A is on the outer part, right? So the inner part is actually the water carrying tube, right? And then the outer tube will be the food carrying tube. Okay, but if I'm not wrong, you are no longer tested on the position of the water carrying tube and food carrying tube, right? So luckily, okay, no longer tested, but let us just go through this question first, right? Okay, so I know that the water carrying tube is definitely part B, right? And then the question here says that the pesticide enter the soil and then is subsequently absorbed by the plant, right? So in this case, it's probably enter the soil and then it gets dissolved into water. Okay, so when the pesticide get dissolved in water, right, and then the plant will absorb the water, that's when the pesticide will enter the water carrying tube. Okay, so we are gonna write down the answer for this part B. Just nice. Part B, the answer is part B. All right, which part? Part B is the water carrying tube, and explain why. So I'm gonna say I need to write neater. The pesticide. Okay, the pesticide had dissolved. Okay, in the water, right? Which was absorbed okay, is it absorbed by the roots or I'm just gonna say absorbed by the roots. That thing is blocking. Wait, what thing is blocking? Let me scroll down a bit. I think it's the box on top, right? Okay, I scroll a bit to the bottom. Okay. Oh, okay. Yes, very good point. Junior college. Yes, thank you for pointing out this mistake. Okay, the question is asking is part B a food carrying tube or water carrying tube? Okay, so I should correct this part, right? So okay, I should say it is the water carrying tube. Okay, now I don't have enough space. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze it. Water carrying. Okay, oh no, oh no. Okay, tube. I'm gonna squeeze it in here. Sorry. Okay, water carrying tube. Then the pesticide. Question. Yes, yes. Thank you. I finally is reading the chat. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, water carrying tube. The pesticide had dissolved in water, which was absorbed by the roots. Okay, and transported. Okay, through the water carrying. Okay, tube. Okay. Oh no. Okay, hold on. I need to write neater. If not, like I'm gonna get complaint. And transported through the water carrying tube. Okay, to all parts. Okay, of the plant. All right. Okay. Hopefully, my handwriting is legible. Okay. So, water carrying tube, right? The question is asking, is it the food or water? Yes, definitely the water carrying tube. Okay, the explanation will be the pesticide had dissolved in the water, in the soil, right? And then after that, it is, teacher, you missed out a tube. Missed out a tube word. Wait, where? Oh, okay. Oh no. Tube. Sorry. Okay. I think that was the thing that was missing just now. Okay. Thank you, Bun Yen. Yen Bun Ko. Okay, so the pesticide are dissolved in the water, which is absorbed by the roots, right? And then it's transported through the water carrying tube. Okay, so it's very important to mention the water carrying tube. Teachers will scold you if you forget, right? I mean, teachers probably won't scold you, but teachers will just deduct your marks. You can hurry up. Oh, okay, okay. I'll try to hurry up, but we only Jacinta. I only have two more questions. So if I hurry up, then finish, then I got nothing else to talk about. So that's why I'm moving at this pace. Okay, but can you see the OEQ answer? I hope you can see. Let me scroll up a bit. Okay, and then see if there's any question or did you spot any mistake? If you spot any mistake, please let me know. Wait, June, you said I don't understand. Okay, which is the part that you don't understand? Okay, let me see any question. Okay, other than the mistakes that I made, okay, I will tell you, I don't understand. Wait, why is it that you don't understand? Okay, you can type out the question if hopefully I can read it. Okay, Roger, can you send this paper using my mom's number? Okay, you can download this paper from agrader.sg/live. Okay, or I think the worksheet is available inside the, you can, the link is in the bio. Okay, so I'm not so sure where to find it, but usually I will go to the AGrader website. So it should be agrader.sg/live. Okay, you go to agrader.sg/live and then you'll be able to see, okay, scroll all the way down, then you can download the worksheet. All right, so I don't need to send the worksheet to your mom. And I don't know your mom's number also. Okay, okay, any question or any mistake? I guess if I don't hear any complaint, then there shouldn't be any mistake or any complaint, right? Then I'll move on to the next question. Okay, question 4. Okay, question 4. Farah wanted to find out how different exercises would affect her heart. rate. The table below shows Farah's heart rate when she carried out 3 different forms of exercises. Okay, so in this case, she wants to find out how different exercises, right? So she got to do different exercises. Okay, so this will be the changed variable. Wait, what do you mean? Can you see mine? Wait, see what? Now I'm confused. Print out the rest of the subject. Okay, if you print out the rest of the subject, it's good. Okay, but I don't think I can see your worksheet because you also can't send me. Okay, so she's doing different exercises, right? And then she measured the heart rate. So the heart rate will be the measured variable, right? Exercises here changed variable, right? Heart rate is the measured variable. Okay, 3 different forms of exercise, right? So this is a walking, right? Just brisk walk. I think brisk walk is very suitable for me at my age. Jogging for 20 minutes, okay. I also jog, right? But running for 20 minutes, oh, I don't think I can run for 20 minutes. Maybe I can run for 1 minute. Okay. Heart rate so high, yep, okay, 100, 124 and 148, right? So this is all like in increasing intensity, right? So the more vigorous the exercise is, and the faster the heart rate will be. Slow down, slow down. Wait, what do you mean by slow down? Raylan, you want me to talk slower or? Okay, I will try to talk slower. Run is faster. Okay, let me read the question first. So the question wants you to explain the difference in her heart rate when she ran as compared to when she walked. All right, so the question wants you to compare these walking and running, right? Compare. Okay, why is this lower and why is this high, right? Highest. All right. So basically, the thing that you need to talk about will be which exercise requires more energy. Okay, so the exercise that requires more energy is definitely running. Okay, running requires more energy. Therefore, her heart will need to pump faster, right, to transport blood that is rich in oxygen and digested food to all parts of the body. Okay, to increase the rate of respiration. All right, so when you are explaining, okay, few points you need to talk about, right? So the first point we always talk about is more energy. Okay, let me put it in point form first, right? So more energy, then the heart will pump faster. Okay, heart pump faster. Okay, then this one be careful. A lot of students like to say pump more blood. Okay, I think there are some teachers who will penalize if you write pump more blood. All right, so heart will pump faster, right? Because they want to deliver blood that is rich in, okay, blood rich in, okay, oxygen and digested food. Okay, and then at the very end, right, to increase the rate of respiration, okay, respire faster. Okay, so I'm gonna write down the answer. Okay, so first I'm gonna start off by saying that running, okay, requires more energy. Okay, then walking. Right, so this is already the comparison. Okay, then, and so her, okay, heart will pump faster. Okay, to transport, okay, blood that is rich in okay, oxygen, right? I know that some teachers prefer like dissolved oxygen or something like that. Okay, but I don't think that matters. Okay, oxygen and digested food. Okay, to or parts of her body, okay, to respire, okay, faster. To respire faster, okay, to release more. Wait, page, parts, not part. Wait. To all parts. Okay, thank you. To all parts of her body to respire faster and release more. Okay, energy. Okay, when running. All right, so I believe I should have included most of the keywords, right? More energy. Okay, then the heart will pump faster, right? Transport blood that is rich in oxygen and digest the food, okay, to all parts of the body to respire faster, okay, to release energy. Okay, let me see if there's any question. When I sleep, my heart rate is 0. Then you're not sleeping already. You're like you're unalived. Okay, more oxygen demand needed in muscles and blood flow to carry away lactic energy. Okay, Marcus Low, this one is like primary school science, very easy science. Okay, anything else? Let's see. Nothing related. When I sleep, my eyes are closed. There are some people who sleep with their eyes open. If you respire faster, no oxygen. Down. Wait. Down what? Down as in like. You want me to scroll down like this? Yes. Okay. Okay. A good chance for me to like drink a bit of water also. Okay, done. Right. Let me scroll to the next question already quickly. Okay, hopefully by now you are like very clear on how to answer this kind of question. Okay, especially questions that ask you about exercising. Right, exercising is always more energy. Right, need more energy and more passion. Right. Okay, no, not more passion, more energy. That's it. To increase the rate of respiration, all right? And then hopefully you also know how to differentiate the breathing rate. Sorry, not breathing rate. Differentiate between the breathing and the heart rate. Huh? Have a break, but just 15 more minutes, just 2 more questions. Elamilin, right? 15 more minutes. Endure, right? We can get through it. Don't worry. Just chit chat a bit, look up, down, left, right a bit. Restless. Okay, then I better quickly go through the next question. If not, June is getting restless. Okay, question 5. A plant transport system consists of 2 types of tube, right? Which is the water carrying tube and the food carrying tube. So in the table below, put a tick in the correct boxes to indicate where the food carrying tubes can be found. Okay, stem definitely will have food carrying tube. Okay, roots definitely will have a food carrying tube also because the roots also need food. Leaf definitely will have because leaf will make the food, right? And then they will transport to all parts of the plant. Okay, the flower, they also need food, right? So they also will have the food carrying tube. All right. So all over the plant, basically, yes, Junior, correct. All over the plant. All right. Okay, and then we go on to part B. Again, yeah, I think this is the insect that just now that very first question is talking about. Not put one tick. Wait. In the table below, put a tick in the correct boxes because it says a boxes, not box. So I believe you can put more than one box. All right. Yes, put one tick, but in the correct boxes. Okay, so this is the insect that I was talking about, right? This one looks more like F5. Just now that first question looks like caterpillar, like some weird caterpillar, I don't know. Okay, so the insect are found eating through the stem of the plant, right? Explain how this affects the growth of the roots. Okay, so if they like feed through the stem, right? Okay, then the food will be absorbed. Okay, so if let's say the stem is connected to the roots over here, if let's say the roots is over here, then the food will be gone, right? Because all these insect will absorb away the food, right? They will eat the food. Okay, then the poor roots got no more food, right? So no food, no food. Very sad. Okay, very sad. So explain how the food carrying tubes in the stem are damaged, right? Oh yeah, even worse. Okay, so what if they like eat already, then they destroy the food carrying tube? Then the roots will be even more sad, right? Okay, then the plant is gonna die. Alright, so in this case, when you want to explain how this affects the growth of the roots, okay, you can talk about because when they're eating, right, they are going to eat the food, right, which is produced by the leaf, right, and then through the stem, right, then maybe the food carrying tubes will be damaged, right, tubes damaged, okay, so if the tubes are damaged, then oh no, alright. Okay, so I'm gonna write down the answer. Are you able to see? Okay, let me scroll down a bit. Wait, scroll up or scroll down? I'm very confused. I have very poor directional like sometimes when they'll tell me to just scroll up, just scroll down, I get confused. Okay, let me write down the answer first. So the food, okay, carrying tubes, okay, in hi Cloudly. Now I understand, you explain more clear. Okay, thank you very much. The food carrying tubes in the stem. Okay, I'm gonna go along with the tubes are damaged because I think the insects are very hungry and there's 3 of them, right? Imagine there's 3 mosquito on your hand, right? Your blood vessels, I think, will be damaged also. Maybe I'm wrong, I'm just like talking rubbish. Okay, so food made by the leaves, they cannot be transported to the roots. Okay, to the roots, right? So if the roots are not getting any food, right, then the roots will die, right, causing the... Okay, explain how this affects the growth of the roots. Okay, causing the... Okay, I'm just gonna go along with causing the roots, right, to die, right, due to a lack of food. All right. Okay, so you can either say the food carrying tubes are damaged, or you can say that the insect will absorb away all the food made by the leaves, which will leave the roots with no food, right? If the roots, they have no food, then, right, they probably will die, or you can say that they will not grow well also, because the question is asking about the growth of the roots, all right? Okay, so hold on, do I need to highlight? So food made by the leaves, okay, cannot be transported to the roots, right, causing the roots to die. All right, so I'm gonna go along with roots will die. Any question? Let me scroll up a bit and see if there's any question. Cloudly, you like spicy food, but I don't like spicy food. Because when I eat spicy food, I sweat a lot, including my butt. My butt will also sweat. So I don't like to eat spicy food. Okay, no question. I go on fire. See, when you eat spicy food, you go on fire. Yes, I feel like I'm on fire also when I eat spicy food. I mean, a little bit of curry is fine, but not like those like what mala, what super duper spicy. Oh my goodness! If I eat those, I will die. Okay, no question. Right, so let me move on to the Yeah, I know a lot of people like spicy food. I mean, different people will have different preferences, right? So if you like spicy stuff, sure. I mean, no problem. Tom yum. I mean, if tom yum is not too spicy, it's actually quite nice because it's like a bit sourish, not sour. Like how do you describe it? I don't know how to describe it. Footballer, you're okay with spicy food? Yeah. Capybara, yes, I eat humans, so I eat spicy food. Okay, can go faster. Okay, yes. Right, let's finish up this last question. Okay, this is the last question. Is there anything blocking the question? Okay, let me scroll down a bit. Right, the graph below shows how Javier's heart rate changes over time. So looking at the graph, right, whenever you encounter a graph question, okay, please make sure you read the axis first. This is talking about the heart rate, okay, with going according to time, right? So over here, the heart rate is the same. After that, it increase, remain the same. After that, it decrease, okay, and then after that, remain the same, right? So over here, it seems like he is carrying out some exercise, right? So this looks like where he maybe start to exercise, okay, maybe, right? So this looks like where he maybe end or stop the exercise. All right, so if part A wants you to match the activities in the table below with the heart rate, okay, match with the heart rate shown in the graph by writing BC, CD, DE, or EF in the correct boxes. Okay, started jogging, right? So started jogging will definitely be over here, right? Because he started over here, right? Then he is kind of like jogging, then the heart rate will increase, right? So it will be BC, okay? BC, started jogging, right? Cooling down exercise. Cooling down is probably where he ended, right? So this will be where he stopped exercising already. Because if he continue to exercise, the heart rate will maintain, right? So in this case, this is where he stopped, right? Chilling, probably he is walking. Is it he or she? Javier. Javier should be a he, right? So over here should be walking already. Okay, and then after the EF will be back to the normal heart rate, all right? So cooling down will be D, E. All right, cooling down exercise. Any question? My mouth just got cooked by something super duper spicy. Okay, no question, I believe. Then I'm gonna go through the last part B. Part B is asking at which part A, B, or BC? A, B, or BC did Javier take in more oxygen? Explain your answer. All right, so definitely it's part BC, right? Because part AB he is just I don't know, chilling, or maybe just standing down there doing nothing, right? So this is the part where he will need more oxygen because the heart rate is increasing, right? So at which part we're gonna write down, okay, part, okay, BC first. All right, so part BC, and then we need to explain. Okay, so the explanation is about the same, right? The heart rate will increase. Do you teach secondary science? I used to teach a long time ago, but not now. Now, not anymore. But I still remember a bit of the secondary school science, especially secondary school physics. Yeah, I used to teach the pure physics, but like I haven't taught it for so long, and I forgot a lot of things already. Okay, part BC. So the heart rate at BC increasing, right? So okay, the heart rate at BC is increasing, right? So what does it show? Showing that showing that he was probably exercising. Okay, today they never come out with the they suspect, like TikTok suspect I'm not a human or something. Showing that he was exercising, okay, and Messi or Ronaldo, I don't watch soccer, was exercising, and neither don't distract me. I cannot multitask very well. Okay, you all keep asking me question, then I'll write the wrong answer, then I'll get scolded. And needed to respire more. Move up a bit. Okay, you mean like move down, right? Okay, respire more. Let me also zoom out a bit. I hope it's not blocking. Respire more. Okay, so he's exercising, needed to respire more. Okay, thus, right? He would. Okay, take in more. Okay, oxygen, right? Okay, for his body. Okay, to undergo. Okay, a higher rate of respiration. Okay, to release more energy. Okay, so in this case, remember to talk about the graph, right? So the graph shows that the heart rate is increasing. Okay, so that shows that he's probably exercising and need to respire more, right? So in order to respire more, oh, okay, cannot see the bottom. Sorry, that thing is blocking. Okay, respire more. Therefore, that's why he need to take in more oxygen. Okay, over at BC in order for his body to go through. Okay. I am a human. TikTok. Okay, thanks. Okay, in order to take in more oxygen for his body to undergo a higher rate of respiration. Right? No, it's not phone call. It's the TikTok notification telling me that I seem to be like inactive. So TikTok is telling me to like slide the bar to make sure I am a human. Yes, TikTok suspect that I'm an alien or a robot or AI. Okay, let me scroll up. Any question? Okay, can see the bottom already, right? Okay, you were just like talking about some soccer stuff, but I don't watch soccer. Okay, any other? Okay, move up a bit. Okay. Okay. But there seems to be like no question regarding the question. Okay, yeah. So, Joe can tell us how teacher will mark this question. Rylan. Okay. So, your teacher will probably award you marks according to how you explain, right? So remember, the most important thing is how you justify your answer, right? So by just picking BC, probably you will not get any marks. Okay. So if you pick BC and you justify it by saying that, oh, because the heart rate is increasing, so it shows that you are using an evidence, right? So like certain answering techniques like the CER. Okay, from here I see the heart rate is increasing. So, okay, therefore, okay, it is showing that he's probably exercising and need to respire more, right? So this part is kind of like you infer from the graph and you infer that he need to respire more, therefore he needs more oxygen. Okay, so if you can write BC with this explanation, okay, you will probably get 1 mark. Very difficult 1 mark to earn. Okay, then after that, you try to conclude by saying that thus he will need to take in more oxygen, okay, so that his body can undergo a higher rate of respiration to release more energy. All right. So hopefully this will give you a good idea of how the marks are awarded in science, right? It really depends on how you explain and how you take evidence to explain. Okay, you cannot just explain blindly, right? Take evidence and then infer, and then after that provide your science concept, right? So the respiration is like the keyword, right? So keyword is like make you look like you're very pro, like very smart like that. Okay, any other question regarding science question? Okay, try not to ask. BC can be okay. I guess no other question, right? Then okay, I'm gonna call it a day. Enjoy your holiday, right? Have fun. I think that during the holiday you should play, have fun. Of course, those who are taking the PSLE, right? Work hard, study hard, right? Few more months, 3, 4 more months, and your suffering will be over. Okay. I will see you in 2 weeks time. All right. Bye bye.